whisked off to jail. Months later, a video showing him seemingly stress-free. But just a day before his scheduled release under correctional supervision, his woes began. The Justice Minister blocked it.
In terms of the Act, you must have served at least 1/6 of your sentence. Now, clearly, when the board sat and considered his application for parole, he had not yet completed the 1/6.
Masuta referred the matter to the Parole Review Board for consideration, but weeks later, the Parole Review Board referred it back to the Parole Board. It then decided to release the former track star on October the 20th. As journalists were camping outside the prison, a bombshell that Pistorius was released a day early.
Oscar was released into correctional supervision last night. Like you, we had expected him to be released today, but we were informed that the details of any release are decided upon by the facility concerned, and that is why Oscar was released a couple of hours earlier. It's very important for the family to emphasize that Oscar's sentence hasn't been shortened or reduced. He's simply entering the next phase of his sentence now.
2 weeks later, the state launched its bid to get the athlete back behind bars, and this time for murder.
The court erred in the evaluation of the principles of dolus eventualis by not evaluating the evidence, taking into account three things. The principles of dolus eventualis, a possible defense of period of private defense, and error objector. The court just wanted to apply the principles of dolus eventualis in isolation without taking the other two into account.
It's an objective fact. He's scared. He's really scared. He believes the deceased is in the bedroom because it's spoken to her before. When he woke up, it's spoken to her. So it's not that he believed she was sleeping there. He knew she was awake, but he knew she was in the bedroom. That's the finding. Now he fires. If it's not for that reason, and one tries to sit back and think, why did this man then fire the shots? There is no reason other than to accept the state's case, which cannot be, because it's inconsistent with the probabilities.
A month later, the panel of judges made a ruling that could change Pistorius' life for good.
The accused's conviction and sentence on count 1 are set aside and replaced with the following. Guilty of murder, with the accused having had criminal intent in the form of dolus eventualis.
The Steenkamps told the SABC in an exclusive interview that their prayers had been answered.
This is respect for my daughter and her life also, and respect for women all over this country, because we have too much of this happening and people get away with it. And now we've seen that the justice system works. And we have respect for my daughter and her life, and how wonderful she was, and how clever she was, and all that was taken away from her. Life was taken. And the person who took the life must pay the price now. If you do the crime, you do have to do the time. I'm not really interested in how much time, but the verdict, I'm happy with the verdict. And I feel better that we have justice for her. She didn't die for nothing now and be forgotten. She won't be forgotten.
Pistorius had to reapply for bail. His first public appearance since incarceration.
The applicant is released on bail of 10,000 rand to be paid on or before the 11th of December 2015 before 16 hours.
But Pistorius is fighting on. He's now taking his battle from Bloemfontein to Braamfontein. It could be months before he sees the inside of a prison cell. Well, he's now pinning his hopes on the highest court in the land to get his freedom back.
My name is Reva.
Griselda Lewis, SABC News.
You can be jealous.
In Johannesburg.